Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, I am going to say this YouTube, this is for educational purposes, and there is no intent to bully or harass anybody. This is actually a reaction video, creating awareness on what is happening and letting people know what is going on social medias too. With that being said, hope you all are doing great. I mean, there has been news going around that the election probably may have been hijacked or stolen or something, but there are no evidence to it, right? And people are working hard tirelessly. And I also learned that some Chinese, wherever, were able to hack into something to obtain some certain information. And at the same time, you all already know how Starlink is also connected with the other person. And at the same time, the Starlink was used in some swing states. That also made it kind of a little bit shady, and people are trying to dig deep. I am not into computer. I am not a computer wizard. I am not an engineer or anything, but people are out there trying to look for a way to find, I mean, to find out information. And what more can I say? I hope something good comes out of it. But while all this is happening, I urge everybody to continue to be calm while we think of how to move ourselves forward from now to January. What are we supposed to do as people? How to elevate one another? How to uplift one another? With that being said, let's get into this video.
Hi, you guys. Look, I really debated whether or not I was going to sit here and talk about this. I thought about it long and hard yesterday. I know this is probably going to cause controversy, or this is going to cause whatever. And to be quite honest with you, I'd much rather lose and people know than not do anything and sit on it, okay? This was brought to my attention yesterday from a friend of mine. His name is Mr. Wheezy, Mr. Wheezy 100, and he's an engineer. I'm not going to get into information about him, okay? And he brought this to my attention because, he also understands that, I have my CCIE. I've been a programmer and a networker for the past almost 11 years, for networking and computers and all those other things. With that being said, it was brought to my attention, and I'm gonna, at the end of this video, make sure you watch the whole entire thing. Please post it, boost it, because I'd rather lose and lose whatever I need to in order to get the information out than to not say anything and sit on it, because I absolutely fucking refuse to be like this. This is a give back to my dad and everything that he went through. Anyways, with that being said, he sent me a video letting me know that California and other swing states were able to use Starlink in order to tally up and to count ballot votes or voting ballots in their state, okay? There's a multitude of issues with that, and I'm going to explain to you why. And I'll explain to you in layman's terms, because you have to understand, when it comes to computer programming jargon, you guys are not going to understand what the flying F I'm fucking talking about, okay? So anything that you guys don't understand or you want more clarification from, please message me. I have no problems explaining it to you. With that being said, okay, you also have to understand that when it comes to Starlink, okay, Starlink is it's an IPv4, it's an IPv6. Basically what that means is that it's a specific satellite link-up system that sends signals to whatever it's hooked up to. Doesn't matter what it is, like a normal internet connection, right? With that being said, two things. Number one, why in the flying freaking flap, okay, were voting fucking ballot or voting ballot boxes or whatever, the places where you go to fucking vote, why were they connected to the internet? There is absolutely zero reasons as to why those systems were connected to the internet. Those machines have absolutely no problem tallying up votes like they have done since the beginning of time. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to come in here and talk about, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and help you because I know, there's a lot more people voting and it's going to be difficult, this and this and that. There's not a lot of people that you volunteer to help, blah, 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 blah. Let me help you to tally up the votes in order to be able to help you guys and make things easier for you. Oh, what a sweetheart you are. What a sweetheart you are. But for those of us who know the business, we're not dumb. Okay? So again, you have to understand that when it comes to Starlink, okay, Starlink is a tri-band Fi6 system. Okay, like I said before, it sends signals to whatever it's hooked up to and bounces back and forth, and this is that. You know what I'm saying? It's a basic system, highly intelligent AI process system, right? And with that being said, it's amazing, to be honest with you. I'm not going to take away the fact that this man is a genius, okay? And I will say that, but genius in a lot of ways. Again, with that being said, you also have to understand that when you are using a Linux operating system, which is what Starlink also is, okay? This is going to be difficult to explain, but I'll try the best that I can. When you are sending signals back and forth to expel or to read information, right? The information that's being read, it's not normal information. So in other words, it's not a normal internet connection. Like irregular internet connections, it's a broad span of all different types of fucking information. Doesn't matter what it is, what you're looking up, 50,000,728 fucking things that come in and out of the fucking signal and processes it and allows it to bounce back and fucking tell you whatever fucking answer that you need, right? Okay, straight. Now, with Linux systems, there is no fucking way, unless you are processing different systems and different programming to the Linux BIOS in order to fucking bounce back the information that you're getting. In other words, the information that you're getting has to be the same repetitive fucking thing. So in other words, if you're gonna process this and you're going to tally up whatever, right? It's only going to process one specific thing. In other words, so let's say you're going to separate it, right? Okay, we're only going to separate this system so that way it only reads Dem votes, or it only reads, Republican votes, or only reads, Libertarian vote, or whatever, right? To separate each one in order to count things correctly, in order for that to be correct, right? No. You have to understand, Linux systems do not work that way. It is a 4x4 minim system that only fucking works bilateral based on what information it's fed. One thing to bounce back. So if you're counting something, it can't separate them. Is this making sense for you? You can't separate what it's counting. So with that being said, he would have had to separate his processing system. He would have had to have sent 3 different types of gens. Gens are different operating systems that separate between the linkage signal, right? In order to switch what it's doing. So with that being said, okay, he sent it down. He read a certain amount of fucking certain votes, right? Sure, okay, that's fine. But that's not what the fuck you did. The whole entire time that you were using this system and you were using it to tally votes, you were using a Linux system. It doesn't split. It doesn't split. So how in the fuck were you counting things correctly when you weren't even able to separate what it was that you were counting? Is this making sense to anybody? No? Maybe? I don't, bro. I'm fucking telling you. And not only that, this is why the numbers don't make sense. This is why the numbers don't make sense. And the reason why I'm going to tell you that is because, first of all, you had guaranteed states that were going to turn blue and didn't. Then you have millions of fucking, things that are missing. Now you have fucking people that are all over the fucking United States that are looking up their things and are stating that they were not fucking received or processed. Do you fucking get what I'm saying here? Do you see what I'm saying to you? Because this right here is bullshit. I don't care how smart of a programmer you are. You cannot splice your own networking system to do what it's not designed to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't, again, message me and I'll explain it to you even further. I only have a couple more minutes. I want to play this video for you. If I don't have enough time to play the whole thing, I will repost it or I will send it to you my fucking self. And not, like I said, and then the places that he sent Starlink to were only to swing states. Man, come the fuck on, bro. I'm going to play the video for you now. You guys fucking tell me how you feel about it. Please repost this and get it out. I don't give a fuck if I don't care. Share it with the fucking masses, bro. Fucking please. Because everybody deserves to know.
And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon. And I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina.
North Carolina
Can you
is
get
a
it?
swing
He had that
state.
there so fast.
North Carolina is a swing state. There you go.
All right, let's talk about it. I've been getting an insane amount of people tagging me on this. This is a video of a young woman. She seems to be an expert in internet, cybersecurity, whatnot. She believes that the election was tampered with, possibly stolen. Like, there's some fuckery with Elon Musk and the swing states and Starlink, which is the internet provider that managed a lot of the voting ballots. Voting was done electronically, and some of these ballots were tallied through the internet. And supposedly Starlink had something to do with it, and Elon Musk. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not a computer expert. My field is law, and it's not even cybersecurity law or, I did contracts and renewable energy and labor law. That's it. I don't have anything to do with the internet. I don't know much about it. Is it possible that there was election tampering? Sure. Joe Rogan said it himself. There's no 0% election fraud. Even if it's 0.1%, there's some. There's always people that are going to be tampering with systems and dealing with shit. Do I think it happened in this election? I don't have evidence of it. I have zero evidence of this. I can't say categorically, yeah, the election was stolen, because I don't have any proof of it. If I did, I will release it to you immediately. Do I think it's plausible? Sure. I don't know if it will be enough to make a difference in the election, unless it happened massively at a large scale. I don't know. I have no idea. The easiest way out would be for me to tell you guys, yeah, there's definitely some fuckery and get the views. But it will be irresponsible for me to do that. I am close to 600,000 followers. I am not interested in spreading misinformation. I don't believe it to be so, but it's definitely, we're talking about a guy, it's definitely possible. We're talking about a guy who's a billionaire, who has access to the technology, the knowledge to do so. Satellite technology everywhere, all over the globe. I mean, sure, there's a lot of things that are possible, maybe even plausible. I don't think it happened. It's an interesting theory, but until I don't have like an audit done and have further proof of it, I can't say for sure. Now, I can tell you, it seems that the government is interested in investigating this. It seems that way. That there's some investigations going on that we don't know of, possibly, and that more things are going to come to light. And if it does, I'll keep you posted, but I don't know. I mean, it's weird right now. It's definitely weird. I heard a lot of people that checking their votes and their vote did not count, or it wasn't registered. And this is why I told a lot of you, check that your registry is up to date. Because we knew that there were people that were fucking with it beforehand, before the election hit. So, I'll keep you posted if I know more. We'll see. Que tengan buen día.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I knew it! I have had a feeling since Tuesday, and so has my family, that something was very off about this election and the results. We just couldn't quite pinpoint it. We just couldn't put our finger on it. And shout out to all the people who have made videos with information and divulging and divesting into all of this. It's really great informational help. And you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense that Starlink is a part of this, and Elon Musk it makes sense why Elon Musk is in this, why he just suddenly came out of nowhere. And I just couldn't quite put my finger on it because I didn't have enough evidence, I didn't have enough information to go off of a hunch, an intuition that I had. And as women, our intuitions are never wrong. And now it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And you know what? I didn't really want to say anything because I didn't want people, or I'm sorry, not people, MAGA and Trump supporters to come out and say, oh, so now it's voter fraud, blah, 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 blah. Like just coming out with bullshit to try to, But I've noticed that a lot of MAGA Trump supporters have been very quiet. And I live in a very deep red state. I haven't heard a single peep from these people, okay? And that crazy orange man, he's been real quiet, a little too quiet on social media. And that man is a creature of habit. He has patterns. He has shown us repeatedly for years that he can't shut his yap, okay? He just says whatever he wants on the internet. And for him to not brag about winning this election? Something's off. Something has been off, and now it makes total sense. I knew there was something up. As soon as I saw Elon and he was being a little too annoying by coming out on the internet, I knew something was wrong. It's all making sense now. It's all making sense now, guys. Okay, a couple things I want to talk about as to why I feel like this election is very off, okay? Voter interference, election interference has been a huge discussion for a very long time, for multiple presidential elections since Donald Trump has tried to go into office, has been in office, okay? We've known that there is election interference because it was proven, okay? I just refuse to believe that there's no election interference when, in this election, when there have been, credible history of election interference from the last two elections. And Boston is currently looking into the ballot shortages. They have an investigation going on. And then there are reports that Chinese hackers targeted Trump and Harris's campaign on their cell phones of people who are on their team. And they actually successfully hacked Trump's lead defense attorney's phone. And y'all want to tell me that there's no election interference? Anyway, okay, back to this comment though. When I saw the actual statistic of the different POCs, different minorities that voted for each candidate, that's when I was like, this doesn't make sense to me, because a majority of the POCs voted for Kamala. But obviously Trump won. And I'm not even the least bit surprised by white people, because white people will white people, right? But Asians were the second largest demographic to vote for Kamala. And I'm not saying that would be a deciding factor of this election, but we do make up a large margin of the population. And then seeing the statistic that Native Americans voted for Trump, knowing that they have voter suppression and other rights that are suppressed by the government, it didn't make any sense to me either, because that's when I was like, there's something off about this graph. I personally don't believe that Native Americans voted for Trump. I don't. And I want to talk about another poll, which is Ann Seltzer's poll. Just for a little bit of context, Ann Seltzer is one of the leading pollsters in politics, okay? A lot of people go off of her polls in presidential elections. She's only been wrong twice, and I don't know if it
was a presidential election, she's been wrong, or if it was a governor's race in Iowa that she was wrong. But she wasn't off. Like, she was off by just a little bit on the two that she was wrong on. It wasn't like a large margin, right? Now, when Ann Seltzer came out with her poll, she polled 808 people from Iowa who are likely voters on October 28th to October 31st. So the week before the election. This wasn't done like months before, right? She had polled them to see who these people were going to vote for. She had stated that the deciding factor for Harris winning Iowa was that older women were going to vote for Harris. And she was wrong. Donald Trump won by a landslide in Iowa, a historical landslide in Iowa, by the way. And I'm not saying that Ann Seltzer can't be wrong. She's been wrong twice, and she's been proven wrong twice, okay? I just think it's a little bit weird because every single presidential election since 2008, she's been spot on, okay? She's been spot on with her predictions. But now Ann Seltzer is going back to see what went wrong with her poll. She is now investigating and making changes to see where she went wrong with the poll. And honestly, I don't know if she actually was wrong.
So this is all I got from this video. And I mean, this has been circulating around, And what more can I say? What more can I am not a computer wizard, but there are some certain things you actually need your critical thinking to know something may have gone wrong or may not, right? And I do not have any proof, like the other man said. There is no proof to it, because if I do, I absolutely will let it all out. But I hope there is something that I noticed about how Kamala Harris came out to talk about to concede defeat, right? If you notice, she said that boldly and she walked off boldly. That actually tells me a whole lot. And you all already know what she is. And I hope that if there is anything that happened between the period of that transmission and all that, I hope people are able to find it. I also heard about Chinese hackers that got into the account and Starlink, and you all know who owns Starlink and all that, and you all know how Elon Musk has really been very supportive when it comes to the other person. But all these, I do not have any proof to it, but we are actually hoping that someday, not just like long time, like soonest, that we start saying things and that we are able to also swing into action and know how to deal with it. But now I actually will ask everybody to remain calm and let's continue the plan for ourselves. That is the self-care and not being bothered about some certain things and moving forward and only supporting one another as it should be. Because if you don't put yourself first, nobody will put you first. And why we are hoping that something great comes out of the whole thing, because we need really intervention. Thank you so much for the support, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.